I had someone donate 8 dolls to me, and we are going to turn them into babies for the nursing home. These are used. Here's the body. I'm going to take these arms and legs off, and I've taken this head off. It doesn't have a flaying head, so I've ordered some parts, and I'm hoping that they'll work for this. And if not, I'm going to create my own. But anyways, I am using raw umber, which matches pretty good. And I've done a little bit. We're going to just do this very simply so that it doesn't take a lot of time. But this is a really cheap way to make dolls to donate to your local nursing home. There's a little bit of lines already for this hair, but I'm going against it. It's in the vinyl. And this will dry lighter, but I'm just going to put a little bit of hair. See how it kind of brings it to life. And then I'll darken more at the edges. I will also put a little blush on these. I'm not going to do a bunch of layers, just a simple. Just going to do this simple because I don't want to spend a lot of time, but I want them to look cute. We're going to weight them. See how it's already looking more like a real baby? And this has been airbrushed by the company. So it's really doesn't take as much paint because it's already kind of got a, you can see the scuffs from this has been played with. But if you're kind of strategic when you're putting on your layers, your hair here, you can kind of darken where it's been scuffed off. We're going to bake this on. There's a scuff right there, so let's try to go over that a little bit. There. And I'm going to come up around the face a little. There. Kind of lighten it as you go around the face. It's looking cute. I kind of like to bring it down just a little bit so it looks kind of baby. And this is very light. Let's work on the other side. I might not do a whole lot more than that. When that dries, it will look better. And so will this. I'm doing 8 of these. Probably already said that. But I have a friend that's shipping these to me, and she gets them at a local thrift shop she has, and we're kind of doing this together to, we felt like there was a need, and we just feel like it'll be a wonderful thing to witness to others, and we just want to do it. We're excited. So anyway, she's helping me. Without her, I wouldn't be able to do this. I don't have great places to buy used dolls like this. And I've had other people, they saw this on my Facebook page that I was doing these, and they wanted to do a similar idea, but it is expensive if you buy Reborn kits. So this is really an inexpensive way if you pick these up at a garage sale. There's a lot of, I haven't really looked, but if I may start going to some garage sales and looking, because I bet you could pick one of these up for a few dollars. But anyway, see how she's kind of coming to life, and just very little effort to really bring her, to make her look more realistic. Now, these are kind of smaller dolls, but I used a 17-inch body on her. She's full limbs. I've made some other ones up, and I'll show some pictures of these after I get them all finished. And I kind of loosely stuffed it because I wanted her to be floppy. And it really fits her good, so she's about the size of a preemie. I'm going to stop and measure her here in a minute, and I can tell you exactly. But I'll get some pictures. I just wanted to show you this hair painting. I'm going to stop a minute and work a little bit here on the back. I'm going to do the similar, you know, I'm just kind of, I mean, it's very little paint. And really more the end is what's going to show up at the very tips. So that's kind of what you're going to work more on, is this very tips, because the rest kind of doesn't show. But I think she's turning out cute. I'm going to work on the back of the hair for a little bit. I'm putting a little bit darker down here at the bottom. And I want this to kind of blend a little better. So I'm going to kind of use a bigger brush here and just kind of add a little more paint. And I did measure these babies. They're about 16 inches whenever I use the 17-inch body. And I stuff it loosely so they're pretty floppy. But this will dry, and you'll kind of see this will kind of blend it a little better. So you're not really seeing a bunch of lines. So we're going to let that dry, and I'll come back. All right, I have several different kits I'm going to show of these babies. This is the same head. I'm just showing you kind of the different look. This one I didn't do quite as much hair on. This one a little bit more. So that's two. I did these two. These are a little bit different heads. This one's got an open mouth. It's still drying, so I've got those two done. There's four. This one I added a little hair. I think I'll add hair to all of them. A little bit of fake hair. I haven't had time to do that, but just showing kind of what I have done. And these two. This one. Now, I didn't spend a lot of time, like I said. This one I actually got the eyes a little bit too hot, so I had to replace these eyes. And I added a little hair to that one I need to trim. I did cook these on 250 for about 8 minutes. So just be careful with your eyes if you go a little longer. I'm excited to have all 8 babies' heads done and ready for their bodies. These are going to go to 8 different residents at the nursing home. I don't know who yet, but I'm really excited about it. I just wanted to remind you that I only use 2 colors when painting. I used raw umber and I used blush color, and you can use more colors, but I did these simple, and I think they turned out adorable. We're getting ready to add these connectors to the head so that we can attach them to the body. At first, I thought I could just cut off this part of the body, which I did, but whenever I attached it to the cloth body, it buckled and the heads fell off. So that's out. You can see that it kind of sits a little crooked, so I don't know, you might be able to cut more of it off and put down into the body, but I just decided to buy these connectors. They were only about $1.50. You have to heat the heads up to be able to slip these in. Here's one of my heads. I got a pretty good sized bag of beads I'm putting in. I'm going to stuff it. You don't want to stuff it extra tight because you're going to have to glue this connector in. So I'm going to do it enough to where it doesn't like bounce around. But now I heated these for about 5 minutes at 250. And it's not super easy to get this in, so I'm going to probably pull, here we go, twisting, get a twist. I'm gonna have to get it close to my body to do this because they are tight. Maybe Okay, I kind of twisted. See how my head caved in though? So you're gonna have to kind of release the air. There you go. Okay, there we go. Now, you can see it's too long, which we don't want. So we're going to push it in a little bit. Then I have my E6000 glue, and I'm going to glue all around the edges. So pull it back out, and this is the clear. And you don't want this inside the head, you want it on the outside. This is where you're going to tie it on. So I've got enough, and I'm going to push it in, and that should give me enough room still to tie it in, to tie the head on. And I'm going to do this to all 8 babies, and then we'll attach the bodies. I'm getting ready to put the body on now. I want to show that I did number these limbs because I wanted all the skin tones to match, and I was doing 8 different dolls, so I had a lot of set of limbs. So anyways, what I did, some of these, you can cut a little bigger hole, but I seem to be, you can use a funnel and put your glass beads in, but I filled these close to the top, then I stuffed a little stuffing, leave about that much, not full, and just stuff it full of stuffing so that you can plug your hole. So here it is. I've got my limbs on. This particular doll had some staining that I couldn't do anything about, but that was okay because these were all donated. I am using a really nice size bag. Now I'm doing all different sizes. This is probably 2.5 cups. I'm doing different weights on these dolls, but this particular one's going to be pretty heavy. We're gonna stuff it in here, and kind of hard to get in, but I did between 2 and 3 cups, which may seem big, but these are pretty small dolls. I wanted them to be fun to hold. Okay, that's pretty, you can tell that's pretty big. We're gonna, I don't want to get her overstuffed because I want her to feel pretty floppy. So I'm going to fill, we're gonna kind of test her here, put this head on and see what we think. I did tie my limbs on, but some of them I'll probably, okay, that's pretty, I want her to kind of bend in the middle here. Let's push a little of the stuffing kind of over her tummy part. There. And then her head is going to go here. So I'm going to come back and put this on, and I probably will use, cut this off and just use the zip ties because I think that looks ugly. So I'll come back and you'll see her zip tied and put together. I've got some of my babies drying. I wanted to show how I turned them upside down so that the glue would glue downwards and not fall out. If you turn them to the side, the glue's gonna run out to the back. So because they're weighted, they set up pretty good. So just let them dry like this, and probably let them dry overnight if you can, at least 6 hours, and they should be pretty firm to tie the bodies on. I'm gonna share a few tips. I did use mohair for these babies, just a little bit on top. I thought it added a little more realism. Also, when inserting this connector, you want to bake the head around 8 minutes at 250 instead of 5 because it's really hard to get this in otherwise. Also, to remove the limbs is practically impossible. It's just hideous unless you bake it around 8 minutes. I also chose to not use the hard body because I don't think there's anything fun about holding this doll with a hard body. So I chose to do the cloth bodies. Also, always use a zip tie for the head because it's too heavy, and if you try to tie it on, it will fall off. I used a 17-inch body, and it is a full limb body. You could go a little smaller than this. I did 17-inch because I'm going to make it a little looser and more floppy. I think that's all. I'm going to show how to plug this hole. I filled this with glass beads practically to the top. I got me a pair of scissors, and I'm going to start poking in the hole. I'm just using scissors because it's something I have on hand. But just poke. I probably have a little bit too much stuffing here. Takes a little time when you have a little hole, and you can always heat this up. It might be quicker, but these are not heated right now. Ta-da! There it is. Just do this with all your limbs. The arms are a little bit tinier, but it still works the same way. And just do each limb and you'll soon have them done. All right, I'm going to show another trick. This arm is just... All right, I'm going to show another trick. This arm, it's hideous. I can't get it out. I have tried. I've already softened this. I can't get it out. So I'm going to show you another way you can get these out is got my X-Acto knife, and you can also do this if there's little plugs left in the arm. Just kind of be careful when you're doing it. And let's see if that'll get it. Yep, there you go. Some of them have a full plug in it. That one actually has a hole. But if there is a full plug, you can go around it and slice it out with your X-Acto knife. I'm showing pictures of the two different bodies that I've used. This is, I think, for around a 17-inch doll, and this one, I think, is for around a 15 to 16-inch doll. But these seem to hide the legs better. If you see here, the joint where it joins into the body, where this one doesn't. But honestly, I think either one's fine after they get clothes on. I just wanted to show that. I just finished all 8 babies. I'm going to dress them all in a cloth diaper and a little onesie. I'm showing you them all before I get them dressed. They all have their own personality, and I think 3 of them are the same kit, but they all look different. All right. I just finished all these babies. They're all dressed now. They are wearing a size preemie onesie. I've also made some bonnets out of matching burp cloths. I still have a few more to make, but I think they all turned out really cute. There's several that are the same doll, but they all have their own personality. They turned out to be around 15 to 16 inches in length. And I'm going to make them all birth certificates and name them. And I hope that this YouTube will inspire others to make dolls for their local nursing homes. Thank you all for watching.